item then on the agenda, and as I've indicated, that's a recommendation of a tax rate election and certifying conditions for the election. Members, with your permission and without objection, what I will do is ask our professional finance staff to walk through the issues that are a part of the decision tree, which was the policy that this committee passed and recommended to the full council, which was then adopted by the full council as certifying conditions for a TRE. The motion that I would anticipate that we would talk about after we go through this with our staff, the motion that I would anticipate would be a motion that would say that the certifying conditions, the Audit and Finance Committee finds that the certifying conditions have been met and recommends or doesn't recommend a tax rate election. And it would be just that. It wouldn't be an amount of a tax rate election or anything like that. And then we would make that recommendation to the full council. So just in case there's a lack of clarity. So with that, I'm looking at our professional finance staff, and first let me say, as we go into these questions, create some context. The professional staff provided to this council a proposed base budget that what we've been calling the manager's proposed base budget, which had significant discussion with the council, with this committee and with the council. In addition to that, we have had a number of meetings, both as the Audit and Finance Committee and as the City Council, where the council members themselves have had the opportunity to ask multiple questions and identify issues and areas of investment and things that we might be interested in. And I create that context simply so that when I ask these questions and ask for some feedback on it, it keeps in the front of everybody's mind how much work has actually gone into getting us to this point. Staff, and the way I thought I would approach this, but y'all, since this is the first time we've done this, feel free to add, subtract, or do whatever, but give us advice. But and members, feel free to weigh in with questions if you have questions. But what I would ask is, with your professional opinion, from your I talk for a living, right? From your professional perspective, has there been a comprehensive analysis of general fund programs and services to identify areas for investment of additional funding that could be provided by revenue from a tax rate election?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And the other one is, I would say, again, from your professional perspective, has the city clearly identified the level of programming or services funded with the additional revenue based upon the proposals that you've provided? Now, granted, those proposals may get changed and added to, but the proposals that you've provided when we ask for the 8 different alternatives, have you clearly identified the level of programming or services funded with the additional revenue that's generated above the voter approval rate, and provided an accounting of the expected level of services should the election fail?
Yes, sir.
And then the final question I would ask, again, utilizing your professional credentials and perspective, in structuring those alternatives for us to consider as we now move forward to Thursday and then to the ultimate vote, has the city manager structured proposed TRE or TRE alternatives in this case to include a balance of one-time and ongoing expenditures that will allow the investments to be sustained over the medium term and allow for funding one-time startup expenses related to expanded operational requirements?
Yes, sir.
So, members, I want to now ask if you all have any additional questions about those specific criteria and conditions that we need to certify. So, with that being the case, members, I'm going to call for a motion, and I'll read the motion that I'll recognize here in just a second. But that motion says in it that we're certifying to the council that items have been met. The items, of course, would be the three items that are part of our decision tree, and that I've just asked an opinion from our professional staff. So if anybody has any questions, let me know, and we'll make sure we do that in the right way. The motion that the chair would recognize is that the Austin City Council Audit and Finance Committee, having considered the policy of the City Council and found that the items set forth in the council's decision tree have been met, and certifies to the council that these items have been met, recommends to the full Austin City Council that a TRE be conducted subject to the decision of the council regarding the actual conduct of the TRE and any amount. Is there a motion? Mayor Pro Tem moves, seconded by Councilmember Alter, the Vice Chair of the committee. Is there discussion? Yes, Councilmember Vela.
Thank you, Mayor, and we'll be supporting the recommendation of the committee. You know, this council has been bold. We've been bold on housing. We've been bold on police transparency and accountability. And the state leadership is trying hard to limit local government, but the residents of Austin have supported libraries and parks and sidewalks and high-quality local services for decades. We will be quite possibly the first major city in Texas to put this type of TRE before the voters, and Austin will lead like we have in the past. So I'm look forward to discussing this further with the full council, but we'll be voting support it.
Thank you, Councilmember. Further discussion? Hearing none, without objection, the motion is adopted unanimously. Members, that concludes the agenda for this special called meeting of the Audit and Finance Committee of the Austin City Council. So without objection, we will be adjourned at 1:45 p.m. We are adjourned. Thanks, everybody. Thank you all.